What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Bronny James had another awful performance um, last night in the game against the Houston Rockets in a 99-80 loss last night. He scored 8 points, but was only 3 of 14 from the field, including just 0 of 8 from downtown. I believe almost all of those shots, or most of those shots, he was wide open in 27 minutes. So far, in 3 summer games, I don't know if you call it all summer league. I guess you call it summer league, but I think the other games are called California Classic, whatever. In the 3 games he's played so far, he's just 6 of 26 from the floor, which I think is something around 24% shooting, 23% shooting, and 0 for 12 from downtown. He told reporters last night that he was, quote, in a little slump right now. Nah, man, your jumper's dead. Okay, let's be honest. The scores you did have were all inside. I mean, they made a big brouhaha about I think he had 5 rebounds and 2 steals, so they know that he sucked offensively. So they're trying to sell him as like a defensive wizard. If that's the case, then why Gary Payton II, wasn't a superstar? I mean, if they're trying to sell Bronny as a star, then Gary Payton II should be a defensive Dennis Johnson of this era. You know what I'm saying? Let me just. I'm kind of still conflicted, man, because a part of me still wants to root for Bronny, but then there's another part of me that says, you know what? This will be good payback for all the Russell Westbrook slander. You know what I mean? All of the Russell Westbrook's shenanigans that his fan base, when I say his, I'm talking about, they slandered that man for a season and a half in LA. And the bastards were so vindictive that when he was traded to the I think he was traded to the Jazz, and then they released him, I think, and then he signed with the Clippers, whatever the case may be. Even when he signed with the Clippers, these vindictive, petty sons of you-know-what were still looking at his stats, looking in this turnover column, and still being petty children, just disgusting vermin, right? Looking at his shooting woes, all this. Well, funny how all of a sudden now you want everybody to be understanding when it comes to Bronny James. Now all of a sudden we're supposed to just look at the defensive side of the ball, but you weren't able to do that with Russell Westbrook, were you? None of you goddamn hypocrites. None of you. But I'm a better man than almost all of you, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to wait until the regular season. Then again, he may not play in the regular season. According to what's been going on, what I'm reading and hearing about is he might have his father-son moment with his son, you know who. But then they plan on sending him to the G League on a guaranteed NBA contract. So, all of the criticism that Bronny's getting, for the most part, I'm not mad at it, because I blame his father for all of this. His father's the one that threw half the NBA under the bus. What was it, 2022-23 season, when he's looking at games and writing on his Twitter at the time, now X. Man, Bronny's better than half these guys I'm looking at right now. Really? So you gonna disrespect NBA players like that? Really? So he's better than half the league. So I don't want to hear no mess about the 90s being inferior then, because Bronny wouldn't even been in the CBA back then. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He wouldn't even been in the CBA. He wouldn't have been in any, the way he's playing right now. Bronny would not have been in any professional league anywhere on this goddamn globe. Come on, man. And the ESPN or BSPN and fake sports, especially BSPN. I mean, the way that they are like skewing the facts and trying to push this dude, push this delusion like he's a great player or a great player on the verge of greatness just struggling, that's an absolute disgrace. That just goes to show you how much all of these goddamn minions have sold their soul for that guy in LA. Sold their soul for this dude. All for money. It's all about money, man. The business side of sports have ruined basketball. I understand it's sports entertainment. I understand there's a business side, but it's ruined the game. The business side of basketball has ruined the game. Because now, like I said, it's an alternate reality now. And people are embracing this ultimate reality. Reality. They're living in it. Got a lot of people now living in delusions. You know, I could go further with that, but I don't want to get in trouble. How there's people that living in alternate realities where they're a different, you know what, they're just living in this, and you know where I'm going with that. Weirdos. And a lot of this guy's fans are weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Complete and utter total weirdos. But look, man, I still wish this guy would play better. And if he does play well, I will give him credit for it, man. But you know, a lot of us said correctly, presciently, that he should have stayed in school. Got more experience on his belt. But when you speak truth, now all of a sudden with some people it's hate. Because like I said, they don't want their delusions to be questioned. They want you to accept their delusions. They want you to embrace their delusional state. And we live in reality. No. Quite honestly, he's not good enough to be in the NBA right now. Right now, he's not. He's not good enough. And people can get offended by that. I've seen how nasty it's getting. And all that's really doing is, and that's another thing too. The fact that it's getting this bad, that people are going around risking their freedoms for a man that wouldn't spit on them. He wouldn't spit on you if you were a blazing inferno. Matter of fact, he would have his security dump more gasoline on you and laugh. He don't care about y'all, man. He doesn't. I've heard so many. He's like Michael Jordan, if not worse. Michael may have mellowed a little bit. Jordan was bad. I'm a Jordan fan. I'll tell you, all of the evidence points to over the years that he's a terrible person. He don't care about his fans like that, unless you pay him or there's some incentive that he gets. But LeBron's the same way. LeBron is a corporate lackey who pretends to be an activist. I've heard so many different situations where this guy has encountered his fans, and if a camera's not around, they are shocked. They really believe that fake persona he puts around. Whatever, man. there's so many dudes that I haven't interacted with, man, that were LeBron fans, and they encountered that dude, and they saw how he really is, you know. But his fans, you know what I'm saying, they need that figure, man, to look up to, I guess. So I wish Bronny the best. I do. I wish him the best, man, but you know, his father put him in a situation, man, with creating these fake expectations. And if you're getting this much attention from, because let's think about it, there are superstars that played in the NBA that don't get this much media attention. Dirk Nowitzki never got this much attention. Chris Webber never got this much attention. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Jaylen Brown don't get this much attention. And Jaylen Brown's being disrespected in a lot of ways. So if those guys aren't getting this much media attention, and this guy is, and I understand why, because of who his father is, but that just points to that just adds to my credence to my point. His father is creating a disservice to this kid. And by the way, the only reason why I keep calling him a kid, it's out of defense of the fact that when I bring up Josh Giddey, I get all these Giddey defenders that keep referring to him as a kid. But they get offended when I refer to Bronny as a kid, who's 2 to 3 years younger. So that's why I keep saying kid with Bronny, because they keep telling me, oh, he's a grown man. He's a grown man. Yeah, so is Josh Giddey. Oh, he's a kid. Oh, I see how that works. So like how, you know, John Kennedy was a kid when he was 46. But, you know, Trayvon Martin was a grown man at 17. You know what I'm saying? When we lost Kennedy, he was just 46. He was a kid. Well, Trayvon Martin, he was a grown man. You saw him, 17, he's a grown man. You know what he's doing. You can make a tea can to a weapon. You didn't know that?